I'd like you to consider this one question. Is your past serving you, or is your past starving you? I'd like you to picture that phrase right above your headboard in your bedroom. Every time you walk through your bedroom door, I'd like you to see that. Is my past serving me, or is my past starving me? You see, young Dave at age 12 was sitting underneath a bridge. As it rained all around me, I cried uncontrollably. Raise your hand if you've ever cried so hard that you just couldn't breathe, just gasping for air. You were crying so hard you felt like your soul was ripped out of your body. I sat there underneath that bridge crying like this because my mom had just passed away. And not only did she die, but she left me alone. See, I had no brothers, no sisters, no aunts, uncles, no one to take care of young Dave, no one to guide me, no one to be there in my corner. I felt completely alone. I was completely alone. I had no light at the end of that tunnel to look forward to. I had nothing to dream of. So as I sat there and it rained all around me, I looked over and I saw a bottle there. A glass bottle that I thought could end the pain, that could end the suffering, that could at least give me a way out. So I reached over and I grabbed that bottle and I started cutting and cutting. And as I sat there bleeding and it raining all around me and the thunder and the lightning, and I felt like a failure. You see, I couldn't even kill myself. So as I walked all the way back bloody to the group home that I was staying at, and I showed them my arms, and everyone rushed around and bandaged me up and took me to the hospital, I was still faced with this void of my future. I had nothing to hope for. What a lonely and miserable thing for a 12-year-old kid to have to feel, to have to be. There's a bright side to this story. Luckily, a person came into my life that saved everything, that changed the trajectory of my life, that gave me a light at the end of that tunnel that I so desperately needed. Ron Barnick. Oh, Ron. Ron was a CASA, court-appointed special advocate, and he was a volunteer in this program that would help young kids in the foster care and group home and juvenile detention system. And Ron was appointed to be my CASA, my special advocate, my mentor, my friend. Ron would bring me over to his house and he would show me things from all of the traveling that he got to do. You see, he was a pilot in the Air Force, and he had things from all over the world that totally mesmerized me, that inspired me. He had this globe, and every time I would go over his house, I would spin that globe, and it would spin around, and I'd stop it somewhere, and it'd stop on water, because 70% of the earth is water. But no, when it did stop on a landmass, I would ask Ron, what about this place? What about that place? And Ron would tell me, oh, Dave, Italy is like this. Oh, Greece is like this. Oh, Serbia is like this. And I was just awed by how big the world was and how cultures were so different than the little hood that I grew up in. I remember one time I went over to Ron's house and I spun the globe like I usually do, and it stopped at China. And I said, Ron, do you have anything from China? And he says, I'll do you one better, Dave. Let's go have Chinese food. I had never had Chinese food, believe it or not. And so Ron took me over to the mall and we had Chinese food, and he showed me how to eat with chopsticks. And here we are 30 years later, and I still know how to Mr. Miyagi, like in Karate Kid, pluck flies out of the air with chopsticks, thanks to Ron. Wow. Ron inspired me to join the Air Force and inspired me to help young people in the same situation that I was in. He was so inspirational to my life. He was pivotal to my life. He was the person I needed in my life. I'd go on to join the Air Force and serve 24 years and tour all around the world, thanks to Ron, thanks to one person. And I would collect things from around the world as Ron did. This is one of my prized possessions. And I actually have two of these. It's made of koa wood, indigenous to Hawaii, where I got to spend 4 years. And not only is it koa wood, but it's for Volunteer of the Year. Wow. Me, inspiring others. I would go on to have martial arts mentoring programs and inspire thousands of youth as Ron did me. You see, I was able to take my past and make it serve me instead of let it starve me like the millions of people let their past starve them. Life is up and down, and we all know this. We know that there's good and there's bad in life. 100% of us will experience good and bad, no matter what. What we do with those experiences, how we make these experiences of bad and good work for us in our lives, make the difference. I'm here to tell you, no matter what experiences you have, you can make your past serve you instead of starve you. Thank you.
Wow. You can make your past serve you instead of starve you. Oh my goodness. Looking at the chat is going crazy, as it should. I am just, first of all, thank you. I just want to say thank you.
My pleasure.
But look at you now. Look at you now. You know, like you said,
yeah.
you need is one person to show up to see you.
That's so true. So true. So true. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. You are the true definition of what it means to level up. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your story, your vulnerability, your authenticity, because as you know, authenticity is a superpower, you know? So thank you for sharing that. Now, I want to get into our questions. I know that you are living abroad, and that's actually one of the first things I want to talk about. First of all, that's amazing. What is your experience like living abroad? Like, paint that picture.
Well, so I've been able to live abroad because of the Air Force for years. And after I retired about 6 years ago, I decided to retire to Greece. And I thought that was it. I'm going to retire, hang out for the rest of my life. I made a bunch of money, did a bunch of good stuff, and now I could just hang out and chill. But after about 2 years of hanging out and chilling in Greece, I didn't feel good. I wasn't giving back. I wasn't helping people. I wasn't saving lives. And it didn't feel great to me waking up and not being able to make an impact. So that's when I started the business, the coaching, started motivational speaking, started speaking all over the world. And I mean, man, when you get to wake up and live the dream that you formed for your life, it's hard to be sad, right? When you've worked hard, and it's hard work. We all want it easy, but very few of us are going to have it easy. So it's going to be hard work. It's going to be daily work, but eventually you get to that point where you're like, wow, I've created this life. I've created this relationship. I've created this person. I've created ... You know, we don't have to wake up and go to a job that we don't like for the rest of our lives. We may have to do that for 5 years. We may have to do that for 10 years, but we got to level up during those 10 years, right? During those 5 years. Every day you're saving, every day you're building yourself, every day you're going to school, every day you're educating yourself. So that's a long-winded question or answer. If you can't tell, I'm a speaker.
Listen here. Listen, that was absolutely perfect. We felt and received every single thing that you said. And even just your response to this question, I can't thank you enough for just showing up and being here today. And could you tell us where you are in the world right now?
Yeah, I live in Kalamata, Greece. So it's the farthest mainland part of Greece. And as amazing as you think it is, it's probably even better. I mean, I get to eat great food. There's no crime. I'm right next to the beach, like on the beach. It's amazing. It's amazing. But more than that, Candy, more than that, I get to wake up and I know my purpose, right? Robbie talked about visualizing, and I think it's really important to visualize a why. When you figure out like, what do you want to do? I want to be an artist. I want to fix laptops. I want to provide the best laptop to everyone that needs a laptop. That could be a why. We don't need these huge, magnanimous, save the world whys, right? But we have to try things. We have to experience things. We have to do things. We have to try things for a duration, right? And then you figure out like, wow, you know what? I liked dancing.
Right.
I liked salsa. Like I have friends that salsa dance that have businesses doing it, and they're traveling the world doing it and making great money doing it. Salsa. And they're Greek. I'm Puerto Rican and they're Greek, right?
And that's proof that you can travel the world, you can live your dreams, and you can do it your way. And thank you for doing it your way and joining us here for the Level Up conference. Can we all please give a round of applause? And y'all, let's make it powerful because he was absolutely powerful.